Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Infinite Times Podcast. And today I am honored to have such an amazing guest that goes by the name of Michelle Mann. She is a radiant and imaginative individual. She is a wonderful friend. And as a devoted wife and mother of three children, she embraces the role of being a Gigi mama, as she calls herself. Together with her talented daughter, Michelle is the driving force behind Authentic Soul Healing LLC. And it is a nurturing sanctuary located in Covington, Georgia. Her extensive expertise encompasses various realms, including massage therapy, music, dance, and juice therapy, all of which contributes to her role as a spiritual holistic wellness. I'm honored to have her here today to share her journey on this life of spirituality and what it means to her. Welcome to the Infinite Times Podcast, where we explore the limitless possibilities of the human spirit. Join us as we journey through the world of spirituality, metaphysics, and all the magic in between. From ancient wisdom to modern practices, we're going to dive deep into the mysteries of the universe and uncover the infinite potential within ourselves. I'm your host, Aisha, and I'm so glad you've joined us for this exploration of the human experience. So sit back, relax, and open your mind to the infinite times that lie ahead. Welcome back, everyone, to the Infinite Times Podcast. Today we have our amazing guest, my sister, friend, my soul sister, Michelle Mann. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, I am a wife. I have three beautiful adults, two sons and a daughter,
Mhm.
and I am a Navy veteran. I'm a medicine woman. I love to dance. I love being out in nature. I just love life.
She's so modest, okay? Michelle is very magical in her gifts. I just want to get into it today. So, one of my questions for you is how did you get here? Like, how did you get to this stage in your life where you have fully embraced who you are and how we should just operate in life? Like, how did you get here? Where did you come from and how did you get here?
Well, I will say this to kind of share what you just said about fully get here. I'm not fully here yet. Fully at the place I desire to be. I'm still growing to that space. However, my background definitely started out in Christianity. Um, 30 years in the same church. Prior to that, a family church in my hometown, which is Jacksonville, Florida, and that's what I grew up in. That's all that I knew coming up was Christianity. Um, got involved with the church more intimately as a teenager and really like on fire, if you would, for God at that time, and even going through military. And so basically, maybe the year 2014, 2015 started a journey for me, which was interesting. I started taking a dance class actually not necessarily a class, but more of a study to become a minister of dance. And so with that, I really had to start delving into the word more, understanding Greek and Hebrew, Chaldean. And so with that, I started really seeing things from a whole nother perspective. Um, really focusing in on etymology. And then from that point there, as I was, at times would lead prayer, um, I would just have thoughts um, and things of just, being quiet, observing certain things, seeing how things unfolded. Um, and I knew for me, some years prior to that, it was a thing of, I know it has to be more to life than just this. This can't be it, that every Sunday, every Wednesday, and every Friday, and some Tuesdays, and some Saturdays, that this is my life, just being in the four walls of a building, and all of my talents that I have, just being in that four walls of that building and never expanding beyond that, and feeling stagnant and that kind of thing. I said, this, it has to be more to life than this.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what started my journey. Was the following year I had started taking drama, the ministry of drama, and some things kind of happened where I wound up becoming like a had to take the lead for the group. And one of the thoughts that came to me for this particular sketch we were pulling together, since we were in different cities, not cities, but different states, um, it would be called The Journey. What was our journey to the summit? Because we were going to a summit for our final grade and everything for these different license for ministry. And that still stands out to me this day, because it seemed like at that point, going to the summit, it was a journey. And then it just went, the rest of my life from that point was, this is a journey. It's not an overnight thing. It's not bam, it's right here. My life is just that. And so unknowingly, that's kind of the direction I started to just flow in, was that. Then other things started shifting and happening. I wind up leaving the church I had been in for 30 years. And then from that point there, I started looking at Hebrew Israelites, got into that for a little bit, and it was like, no, this still isn't it. Well, actually, before that, we started studying at home. And then I was like, okay, we attached ourselves to Hebrew Israelites. Then I said, no, this is not it. Then so I just had the thought, why do you feel like you have to be attached to some type of organization? You don't have to do that. Just be still. And so I was like, how to do that, because I felt like my whole foundation had been shaken, just things that I considered to be truth was not that anymore for me. And so it's like, man, this is a hard pill.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey.
Yes.
Me growing up in Christianity as well, and then accepting, well, from Christianity to be an atheist.
Okay.
I was just like, none of this is it. Yeah. Growing up in Catholic school and Baptist church, it was like so much conflict going on in my mind. And growing up around a bunch of Muslims, so I'm like being exposed to all these different religions and seeing the Israelites out on the street serving the word. So I was like, when I studied theology in high school, it was just like, this is too much. Um, which led me to feeling like I needed to just be atheist.
Okay.
Because I was like, somebody's lying or everybody's lying.
Okay, that part.
Right? And I truly do believe that there's truth in all the religions.
Yes.
It's just a matter of, I believe there's just like, we need balance.
Yes.
We need balance and to do things in moderation. And some people just absorb everything. And you lose yourself.
Yes.
You lose yourself trying to live like someone else, be like someone else. How do you find your path when you are trying to follow the footsteps of somebody else?
Right. Right.
So after atheism, I went back to church, tipsy. Child, joined the church. Me and my cousin.
Oh, God.
Child, we was out all night, went to the after hour, everything. If anybody from the church watching this, I'm sorry. We felt so guilty.
Yeah.
For going to church with a hangover.
Oh gosh. Now that I've never done, but okay.
We felt so guilty when they called us to the front, when they called people to the front to join and give yourself to God. Me and my cousin went up.
Gave yourself to God. You had to repent.
That's all about. We had to start Sunday school all over. Me and my cousin, we was like, we ain't doing this. So I might have went to church a couple more times after that. But then I was still feeling, there was still a disconnect. There was still something missing. So I started studying Islam.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I could do this. They only focusing on one God, the creator. The creator of the heavens, the earth, everything, right? I felt attached to the oneness with that Islam preach about oneness. So I did that for 10 years, and then I went through my spiritual awakening. And here, and so I definitely understand where you're coming from, right? Just trying to find a place to realizing I don't need to attach myself to a particular organization to be one with self.
Right. Or to be one with the universe or one with God, one with nature. And I think that was the thing for me, was being okay with that. And understanding that that's really what existed first. Being out in nature, we didn't have churches, we didn't have all of those things. When you think back to ancient times, you just, and even if you look at certain stories in the Bible, it wasn't until the tabernacle of Moses, but prior to that, everything was outside. You created altars with stones, or cleared off a space and created you an altar, like that. So I think for me, that's really what brought me to this place, was being okay. I found more peace being in nature, and learning more about me. And I agree with what you're saying. It's like when you are patterning yourself after someone else, or because you're in a community with people, or that in that particular organization, then you are emulating someone else, but you're not being your authentic self. You're not being true to who you are.
Mhm.
And anything that you have thought wise, that's the devil. Everything is the devil. It's the devil. You look this way, it's the devil. You eat it, it's the devil. You sneeze, it's the devil. And it was like, oh my goodness, really? And things for me just began to be a thing of, you need to take ownership of your actions,
Mhm.
the things that you're doing, and the things that you're saying. All of this here, and I think the funerals, that kind of stuff started not sitting right with me, and just listening to certain things. Oh, that was the thing that got me to, before I actually left the church, was within me, it was a screaming out of, stop lying. Stop lying. Why do you keep lying?
Mhm.
And I'm sitting in church like freaking out, like,
And it's the voice you're hearing.
yes, this is the voice. And I've never had that to happen. Nobody was whispering nothing in my ear. Nobody came along and said, Michelle, girl, you need to lead the church, blah, blah, blah. Nobody. It was nobody that came and did that. You know how people say, was somebody influenced, or they joined a cult, or so. It was none of that. It was none of that. It was really literally like my higher self, screaming out, like, why are you lying? Why have you been lying to me? And I was like literally freaking out, because it was almost like having an out of body experience. Like, I was sitting on the pew or either standing up. I think I was sitting down, and I could actually like see the essence of me standing in the aisle, saying this, like, stop your lying. Stop lying. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? And I was just like, okay, what is going on? I'm freaking out myself, like, dang, girl, what door you done open for the devil to come into? And it was just like, no, it's time for you to wake up. It's really time for you to wake up. It's time for you to come out of this slumber, because there's a work that needs to be done, and it's not going to get done in these four walls.
Yes.
It's not going to get done. And so I have seen more shifts and changes and healings with people since I have become more spiritual, um, than I have been sitting in religion, being a religious person. And so that's what brought me to this place, is, that was, and, not going into too much of a detail, but that's really what, got me to this place of where I am now, and being okay. Because even with that, um, I'm still coming through being okay with, if somebody from my past or that went to the church, if they ask me, well, what are you doing? Or are you at church? Because even when I had left and I kept saying the Most High, the Most High, the Most High, when I became a part of Hebrew Israelite, well, why are you saying the Most High and not Jesus? That was an issue. So it was just like, because at that time he is the Most High. So then that was being frowned upon for people who say they love me, instead of being there to say, okay, sis, what's going on with you? But I would say this: I am so grateful and I am so thankful nobody was really running behind me to draw me back, because I probably would have gone back. So the universe, God, and when I say God, I don't mean God, Goddess. Let me say that. I don't mean he or she in particular, but whatever that constitution is of that energy.
However people can relate.
Right, exactly. Yeah. However people can relate. That I was glad that that was not, no one felt compelled to pull me back into that. That people gave me that space and that time, because that's what I needed, so that I can be right where I am today, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is not sitting in the four walls. And what's interesting to me, and I've seen this happen um, over and over, well, at least twice for me, where when I started homeschooling, I had a desire to homeschool my kids. And it was like being frowned upon or ridiculed. Somebody had something smart to say. What about socialization? What about this? What about that? What about this? And then the corona stuff started happening. And then actually, right sometime even before that, you started seeing a lot more melanated people taking their children out of school because of the indoctrination that's going on. And so they started homeschooling their children. And then the stuff with corona, the pandemic happened. And
Planned.
then yes, the pandemic happened. And then you start seeing where people have no choice but to homeschool their kids. Just like when I
Well, they
came
couldn't
out of
handle
church,
that.
well, most people can't because they cannot handle themselves. And that's part of the issue. Is that when you see that person that you have brought, entity, whatever you want to call them, beings on this planet, is a part of you. And you, there are aspects of yourself that's reflecting back to you through that child or those children you don't or you have not addressed about yourself. That was part of my journey that I learned.
Oh yeah,
And
because
so
that 17-year-old of mine.
but you still gotta, you have to love them through. You have to love them through. Yeah.
I'll be like, that's her daddy.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be some aspect of yourself that shows up.
No, I definitely see me too.
Yeah. I as I did with mine, and once even with me leaving the church, um, once pandemic happened, what did you see happening? Churches were closed down. So what were you to do then? You had to sit with yourself. You see?
Which I believe is the foundation of spirituality.
Yes, that. Sitting with yourself, learning you and who you are, what's your purpose for being here, and growing, learning your lessons and growing. Not being stagnant. We are constantly evolving. So, if you it's like with being in school, it's like with even if you're on a job that is um you want a promotion, it's growth, it's learning, it's stages that you go through. You have to evolve to be able to do that particular assignment. You evolve some more for another assignment. And it's not, it should not be where it's just like you've plateaued out, you're just stagnant, you sitting in the same stuff you've been sitting in for years. And I can't do that.
Yeah, and I feel like life is, you know, using what you just said. So let's think of the heart monitor. We have our ups and downs.
Yes, cycles. We have cycles that we go through in our lives.
So if you want a heart monitor, and this is life, our heart pumps life through our body, right? What happens when it flatlines?
You dead, you gone.
And it's the same thing when people feel like they hit a plateau or, they feel stagnant. Like there's something dead. You have to be revived.
Yes.
You have to be revived. And that's what you do.
Oh, girl.
Honey, you done revived me quite a few times.
Okay.
You have revived me quite a few times. The sound bath in itself, my first experience, I left my body.
Wow. Okay.
I left my body and I found myself crying and I didn't know why I was crying. But it was just the vibrations, your energy, your daughter's energy. It's transformative. It definitely is. So I'm so grateful for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so
Thank
grateful
you.
for
I'm
you.
grateful for you as well. Definitely. Yes. And she's a powerhouse as well. Definitely. And so mystical and magical is my sister. Yes, yes, yes.
So what how would you what would your definition of spirituality be for you? Because I know a lot of people have their own meaning of spirituality. So what is spirituality for you?
Well, for me, because I know that I'm a spirit with a soul and a body, it's that's just who I am, you know. It goes beyond just the physical. And so with that, also knowing that I am energy. Um, so I have to feed myself through energy with energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess for me that would be more or less what spirituality is for me, is learning about me, the spiritual side of myself,
Mm-hmm.
and not just the physical side of myself, and then learning that there are ways for me to learn more about the spiritual side of myself, which is through meditations, the sound baths, um, and just having moments of quiet, stillness, and um, having the time to reflect inside what's really going on in here. Um, Whether it's things people may or may not know about me, but what's going on internally with me and in my subconsciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's what spirituality is for me, and really tapping in and connecting with my higher self, and not just this physical body being on this planet Earth, but
Your
that
God self.
there you go, the divinity that's
Mm-hmm.
within me, tapping into that.
Me, myself, and I.
There you go. That's it. Me, myself, and I.
That's the divinity right there.
Yes.
Me, myself, and
And
I.
I. Okay. Don't be going too fro and hither in the earth realms. Okay. But yes, me, myself, and I.
Yes.
Yes.
Here we will ask each guest a question of advice. Well, a question for advice, right?
Mhm.
So your question is, how can I embrace and learn from the challenges and setbacks in my life, viewing them as opportunities for growth and transformation? I'm gonna say that again. How can I embrace and learn from the challenges and setbacks in my life, viewing them as opportunities for growth and transformation?
So, how can you learn from the challenges uh, that you have in your life? So, for me personally, what I would do is I reflect, whether it was a traumatic experience, and usually I question myself. So, what am I to get out of this experience? And I want to make sure that I'm learning the lesson, I'm getting the lesson, because that's the whole point and purpose of us being on the planet anyway, is to learn and to grow. Um, so, whatever experiences that I'm having that may not feel good to my flesh, because that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just experiences that does not feel good to your flesh or to your ego,
Mm-hmm.
because long as things are going good for us, we like that, we love that.
Mm-hmm. When we are in our heaven state, per
Right,
se.
there you go. But
Mm-hmm.
when we need to be grounded, or when challenges come our way, then that's when it's like, oh, woe is me. But no, let's stop and look at the big picture,
Mm-hmm.
And from that, ask yourself, what am I supposed to get out of this scenario? What am I supposed to learn from this situation? So
Mhm.
whether you ask yourself that before you go to bed at night, or you ask yourself that before you do a any type of meditation, from this experience that I've had that does not feel good to me, or is vibrating low, or however you want to, classify it or label it, what's my part? What's my role? um what is it that I didn't get that I need to get this time around, so that I know how to best move forward. Was it another part to that too? That was okay.
Mhm.
Just wanted to make sure, but yeah, definitely. That's what I would say to those that may have that question. Check yourself, reflect. If you need to pick a crystal to reflect with, do that. Meditate with that. Sit with it. Go out in nature. Sit under a tree and sit with that. Close
Trees,
your eyes.
trees hold so much knowledge, so
Yes,
much wisdom.
yes. All of the roots that the trees have for connection down into the earth, and then their branches, which are reaching up to the heavens. So it's going to dig deep down. So just perfect example. So when you see that, dig down within the essence and the very core of your being with sincerity for that. What am I to get? What am I to learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And then just be open. Don't be inside of a building. If you could be outside, I think that would be great. And being up under a tree, then you can see all of that wisdom, guidance, and direction being able to come down to share with you what it is that you're needing. And I'm gonna say this because it made me think of a dream that I had one time, and it was I was climbing a tree. And as I was climbing this tree, it was like a branch of it went off, like it was clouds covering it. And I was just like, what in the world? And I remember pulling this book out, and it was just like, what is this? So maybe it was the Akashic Records. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not for sure, but I truly believe that you will get your answer and get direction on how to best move forward if
Mm-hmm.
you sit still long enough and listen.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be in nature, be in that stillness, ask your question, and continue to sit still and wait for the answer. Don't be quick to just, oh my gosh, it's okay. Be okay with being still.
Mm-hmm. All right. I want to thank you. That was an amazing answer. So tell us, how can we contact you? How can we get in touch with you? We are interested in utilizing your services.
Okay. The name of the business that my daughter and I are keepers of is called Authentic Soul Healing. So that will be AuthenticSoulHealing.com. And also on Instagram at sign Authentic Soul Healing. Um, yeah, that's it for right now. I gotta get some things together for my Facebook page, but yeah.
And tell us some of your specialties.
So my core thing definitely is I am a licensed massage therapist. Have been that since 2009, and I do vibrational sound therapy. I also do have crystal meditation experiences, sound bath meditation experiences. Um, just started with juicing, so I got my certification as a certified juice therapist through the
Oh.
Juice Guru Institute. Institute. And I'm a Reiki master, a crystal Reiki master, and also a ceremonialist. So I do some house clearing as well. just a variety of different things. I do cocooning, Thai yoga massage. My daughter does yoga. She's a herbalist. Um, and I think it's just so much.
A lot.
A lot. It's a lot.
So I want to thank you for joining us today and being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I know we're going to have you again.
Okay.
We're going to have you again. And I know people going to want to hear from you again. Your story is very intriguing and encouraging for people who are struggling with leaving organized religion. Yeah. And just being okay with self.
Yes.
And being connected to God in your own way.
That.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, please follow, like, share, tell a friend, tell a girlfriend, tell a boyfriend, tell your mama and your daddy.
And your grandmama.
And your grandmama. Calling your ancestors, tell them to watch too.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That part. And your spirit guides.
And your spirit guides and all your angels.
Yes, your animal totems and the sentient beings.
All that, okay? Yes. And until next time, be great, live life. We are infinite beings having infinite experiences. I love you. Peace. Yeah, I might have to take that out.
Oh, wow. Yes.
That was an amazing answer. I thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna cut all this out and take out that toilet brush.
Are you trying to say that's hard wash? Well, people do need to sit still long enough. They don't sit still. And
boy, how long you gonna wash your hands? Goodness. Get out. Go upstairs. Your drawers pulled all the way up to your belly button.
Girl, he look like he's gonna go to a swim meet. Get it, Barry.
Oh, goodness gracious, good job.